One of the new things we have down here at Empires Comics is our Kickstart This segments on YouTube and, of course, here on Facebook as well, where we talk to people about Kickstarters that are currently going on and how you can help, what they have to offer, the tiers, the rewards. And this week we are talking to Kristine Balog, who you will all know from Creative Women Minicon, Free Comic Book Day. You were down here this year. Yes. You had a whole display for this. You were in fact doing beta, or not beta testing, but you were doing demonstrations for the card game, which is called
Alchemental, Rise of the Celestial Sphere.
There we go. I want her to say it because I didn't want to say it wrong. But I could. That was exactly what I was going to say. So tell us a little bit about Alchemental and where did it come from? Where did it start?
So Alchemental has been in my head since I was a kid. And then I grew up and had to go get a real job. And then when I had my real job, I have my career, have kids, all that good stuff. I said, you know what, I'm revisiting this. So
okay, so it's been building for a long time.
It has, yeah. I've always had a love for fantasy games, especially video games like Final Fantasy has always been my thing. But then I started playing Magic when Magic first came out, and I was like, I really want to make a game that kind of encapsulates all of those ideas. So there's a little bit of D&D in this game. There's a little bit of deck building. There's a little bit of co-op. There's a little bit of collecting cards, building your deck before the game, but also building your deck during the game. So there's a lot of moving components in this game. But it's really easy to play once you actually sit down and play it.
Now, is it made just for 2 players? Can more people play?
More people can play, yeah. So you definitely need a minimum of 2, but you can play with as many as you want as long as you have a table big enough. So you could go all the way up to 10 people if you wanted to. And the more people you get, the funner it gets, because you get really competitive and you get, really sly about a lot of things and a little shady and stuff. So
that's awesome. So then when did you start doing this again? Because you've been building towards this for a little while now.
Yeah, so I started actually putting the mechanics of the game together 2 years ago, and then this past year I actually had all the cards, prototype decks together, and we started doing beta play and stuff, and then it was constant development after that. So about once a week we were getting together to do beta play, and then after that I was taking notes and redeveloping things, and then the next week we'd get together and stuff. So we've been doing beta play for a little bit over a year now.
That's great, and we actually did a couple down here. Thank you to everyone who came down to be part of it. We set up some tables. Everyone just played, gave her the feedback that was necessary for these kind of games. And that led us to Free Comic Book Day, where you were able to demo it in its final version. Yeah. Talk to people, talk to them about the Kickstarter. And then the Kickstarter launched right afterwards. So I believe you have 23 days.
I do, yeah.
As of today. Yep. To go see it. Now, obviously, they can just type in Alchemental.
Correct,
and they'll find it. We'll put some links on here for you guys, too. But why don't you tell us what it is that they would be getting?
Yeah, so what I brought down here for you today, I have a $30 tier, which I call Lightweight Armor. That's going to give you the least amount of cards, but it's going to give you a complete game. So I know it's absolutely playable, and you can collect the cards later if you want to. The tier above that is the $75 tier. So that's what I brought with me here. That is called the base pledge, and you choose between light or dark, right? Of course, these decks have themes. Yes. So I have, really briefly, there's 8 realms in the Celestial Sphere. I have the light side and the dark side, how very Star Wars of me, right? Yes. So there's 3 colors that belong to each. And basically with those colors, that's how you're building your deck. So the dark colors are more defensive. They're more about powerful armor, things like that. More powerful spells as far as offense. The light deck is more about healing and actually going out and rallying people from the other realms. So there's definitely a thematic element to it. So you choose if you want light or dark. And then what you get is actually in this box, if I can open this box.
Yeah, and it's a hefty box.
This box is awesome. It's so sturdy. But in here, this is actually what you get. So you get this little pouch that has all of these really cool game pieces in it. So they're ailment markers, they're life and damage counters. The Philosopher's Stone is in there. Yes, super cool. And it jingles, which is awesome.
We'll just show. I don't know if you can see this, can we? So just a bunch of things that, like you said, there's wheels within wheels on this game. So there's plenty of opportunities to use this, I imagine.
And those are my favorite things out of these kinds of games. It's like I always want something super fun and like tangible to put my hands on and throw around the board and stuff like that. So it also comes with 2 dice as well. But then here's the instruction manual, which is super cute.
I need my glasses.
I have my contacts. I'm cheating today. And then we have the cards, and I'm going to try to flip this without knocking it over. But here's the cards are actually in there.
That's awesome. Well, you can give us a good demonstration of these.
These are much better.
So you can actually see some of what we're looking at here.
So those are the scroll cards.
So they're the scroll cards,
Yes.
which means what?
They are in their own separate deck. So your scroll cards, it's a pre-built deck for you. That is where the deck building component of the game comes in. So during gameplay, you'll be drawing those scroll cards, you'll be winning those scroll cards, and based on what is listed on there, those are going to amplify your Typhon, who are my creatures, their attacks and their spells and things like that.
What's the total card count? Like, how many cards are there total?
288.
288. Okay,
Yeah.
and
in the starter, and then I'll have booster packs and things like that that are going to be 18 cards per.
okay, and
per
where
package.
the artwork? Well, where was that done?
I did all of it.
Of course she did.
I did all of it. I did the layouts, I did the writing, I did the typing, I did the math, I did the mechanics, and all of the art.
And you've gone beyond that too, because you've created the world. Like you
Yeah.
know this world. You even have a map.
I have maps for all of the realms now.
Okay.
That's actually in one of the tiers. You can actually get a hand-drawn map.
Sweet.
And I stain the paper with tea because, of course, I do. But yeah, so this game actually turned into a series of novels too. Because when I was working on it, I realized I'm building this entire world. So it's very much this campaign with these characters, and then you're going to be able to read these books of these characters actually going out and really like conquering the world. So you're going to be part of two universes, if you will.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And if you guys didn't know, she also has novels about Caravaggio, has coloring books, comic books. This has just kind of been the focus for a little while.
Yeah.
Now. And of course it is, because again, 23 days. You're going to want to look it up, head on over, take a peek, look at the tiers, look at the descriptions, find out a little bit more, and then hopefully you'll decide to pledge and support local. So, because this is interesting, this is great. We talk to comic creators all the time.
Yeah.
Game creators on an independent level like this, I don't believe there's nearly as many of them out there.
There's not.
So this is neat. This is interesting. So go take a peek, guys. Where can they find you online?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kristine Art. You can find me at alchemental _CCG on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Kristine Balog, Kristine Balog author, and Alchemental Rise of the Celestial Sphere. And I think that's all of them.
Okay, that's perfect. That gives you
all
plenty of options. So don't waste any time. 23 days.